Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we are going to visit the second shrine of our journey to Chardham. Yes, you guessed it right. The pilgrimage destination is Gangotri, the source of India's most sacred river Ganga. Let me brief you how your day will unfold. To reach Gangotri, we will be traveling 90 kilometers by our coaches. I know you are eager as I am to see this picturesque pilgrimage. But in the meantime, enjoy the serene beauty of the snow-covered mountains. The main temple is situated on the right bank of river Bhagirathi at a height of 3,140 meters. The temple made of white granite is 20 feet high and is dedicated to goddess Ganga. The Ganges source is at Gomukh, meaning a cow's mouth. It is around 80 kilometers away from the main temple. As legend goes, it was at this spot where the holy river Ganga touched Mother Earth for the first time. Here the Ganges is called Bhagirathi, as it was called on earth by King Bhagirath. A holy dip at Gangotri is believed to cleanse away all the sins. So we all will take a holy dip here. The water also has medicinal properties and you can fill your bottles of pure Ganga Jal from here. Friends, now we have finally reached Gangotri. You can see the view behind me. It's a very beautiful place. The main temple you see over there was built by a Gorkha commander of Garhwal called Amar Singh Thapa in 18th century. It is said King Bhagirath had performed severe penance at the temple location to bring river Ganga down to earth to absolve the sins of his ancestors who were turned to ashes by the rage of Kapil Rishi. The pure water of Ganges from this place is carried to be offered to Lord Shiv in Rameshwaram, as it is believed that this water can soothe the throat of the Lord who had taken poison during Sagar Manthan. You can have your lunch at Harshal only. After the trip, we will head back to Uttarkashi. Har Har Mahadev. Today will be our 5th day of the tour. I'm sure today everyone enjoyed Gangotri Darshan and is feeling blessed to have taken this pilgrimage trip. Tomorrow we shall be heading towards the land of Bhole Baba, known as Gupt Kashi. Do you know why it is known as Gupt Kashi? Legend has it that one Shiv disguised as a bull and hid at this place. He did this on purpose to test the virtue of the Pandavas. So this place is rich and divine in energy and presence and is a piece of our history too. The journey to Gupt Kashi will be covered in 9 to 10 hours as the total distance is 235 kilometers. So you must make yourself comfortable for this long journey and we will make sure that you have a pleasant ride with us. We will be stopping over for lunch midway at Chamba and will also get to see the magnificent Tehri Dam. After watching the Tehri Dam, we will be joined by river Mandakini from Rudraprayag that will flow beautifully alongside our bus route till Gupt Kashi. The bus will only reach Gupt Kashi by late in the evening. You can check into your room, get a hot water bath to freshen up and have dinner at your respective hotels. Sleep well because the next day we will be heading to Gaurikund, Kedarnath and much more. Jai Bhole Baba.
हमारी यात्रा हरिद्वार से शुरू हुई। उषा ब्रेको वालों ने सारा अरेंजमेंट किया था। सभी यात्रा बहुत सक्सेसफुल रही। पूरा देवभूमि है, रास्ता उतना ही उद्गम और उतना ही सुंदर है। हरिद्वार और ऋषिकेश जहाँ गंगा पावन बहती हैं वहाँ भी हम लोगों ने दर्शन किया और बहुत ही लक्ष्मण झूला वगैरह का पूरा खूबसूरती वहाँ देखी।
A very good evening, everybody. I know you're tired, but let me refresh your mind by telling you what is in store for tomorrow. We will be having an early breakfast and then we will be leaving for sacred Gaurikund. Gaurikund is 37 kilometers from here. And as you may know, it is the place where goddess Parvati meditated for Lord Shiva. We are at an altitude of 1981 meters above the sea level. This temple of goddess Gauri, which houses the metallic idol of Lord Shiva, is among the rare temples of India. Near the temple are thermal springs, which are known to have medicinal value. After taking a dip in the sacred Kund, we are ready for our third stop for our Char Dham, that is Kedarnath. It is 14 kilometers track from Gaurikund to reach Kedarnath. It is going to be very thrilling for the adventurous people among us. You can enjoy the majestic beauty of the surrounding mountains. It's a long day ahead tomorrow, but not to worry at all. Our experienced location managers and tour guides are here to make your journey as smooth as possible. This track is longer than the previous one, so remember to keep on drinking water and again, wear woolen clothes to avoid any kind of sickness. If you maintain a good tracking speed, you will be able to maintain your stamina as well. We usually reach Kedarnath by late afternoon. For those who find the journey hard to cover, there are options like palki and pony, etc. Lunch will be served on reaching Kedarnath. Kedarnath temple is situated alongside river Mandakini amidst the snowy peak. The beautiful temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva and is one of the 12 Jyotirlings. Friends, now we have reached our third dham called Kedarnath. It's so beautiful. And you can see the temple. It's among the holiest Hindu pilgrimage center. Pilgrims take Ganga Jal from Gangotri as it is customary to worship Lord Shiva with Ganga Jal. After reaching the Kedarnath temple, you can freshen up a bit and then go to perform puja at the temple. And even if some of you are feeling tired because of climbing the height, I'm sure all the tiredness will be gone once you have the holy darshan of the deity. It's a very divine feeling you get after darshan at the temple. Today, we shall be staying here for the night. So let's gather some information about the celestial Jyotirling. Kedarnath is situated at an altitude of 3,584 meters above the sea level. The mythology says that Lord Shiva was angry with the Pandavas for killing their own kinsmen in the battle of Kurukshetra. On knowing this, Pandavas set on a yatra in order to please Lord Shiva, who in turn fled from his assumed the shape of a bull to escape their persistence. Bhim managed to catch him by his legs. The Lord tried to disappear underground while the back portion remained in Bhim's hands. Shiva, pleased with the determination of Pandavas, gave his blessings, discharging them from their sins, and also bestowed upon them an opportunity to worship his hump. Since that day, the hump is worshipped at the temple. The other posture of the underground bull is spread over the Himalayas. We have belly at Madhyameshwar, the arms at Tungnath, the face at Rudranath, and the hair at Kalpeshwar. These four, along with Kedarnath Ji, are known as Panch Kedar. The winter seat of the Lord is the Omkareshwar temple at Ukhimat, where it is kept till the temple reopens. So this wraps up our journey for tomorrow. I'm sure you're better prepared for the next day. Good night.